Hello and welcome to Babylon Game Starter, as today we look into the wonderful world of deployment to Netlify. Let's go ahead to the main GitHub repository for the Babylon Game Starter and fork this repository if you have not already. Go ahead and proceed to your fork of the repository and open up your fork of the repository at github.dev and pointing right to your fork. And let's go ahead, change the .com to .dev. And now it takes us to the editor. Once in the editor, we are going to create a new branch by clicking down at the bottom left where it says main, then clicking new branch. And we are going to call this branch mod-13. And then we're going to hit enter and switch to that branch. And it will load up mod13 branch in the editor. And we'll come back to this in just a second. But we're going to first take a look at the folder structure and see a couple high-level things first. So here we are in the GitHub editor, and this gives us the advantage of quickly being able to change some aspects of the project. Let's go ahead and take a look first in this folder. GitHub provides us with this really clear distinction. This is the GitHub repository, and that's what we want to go into. And then we want to go into, from there, we want to go into source, deployment, settings, and settings MJS. And we can see that we are pointing to the host Netlify. And that is where we want to start our discussion off, because we are going to use Netlify as a deployment target. So we want to make sure we have host is Netlify there. Let's go ahead and close that out since we have confirmed that. Now we're going to go into the client folder, into the config, and into assets TS. And in the assets TS, we're going to scroll down to the Mushroom Village. It's on line 296. And then if we go down a little bit further, we can see we have some lights in here. We have a point light and we have a hemispheric light. A matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and take out this point light altogether. We'll just take that section out. And we're going to modify the hemispheric light by changing the intensity from 0.1 to 1.0. So there we have it. We removed the point light and we've modified the intensity of the hemispheric light. Next, we will save by going over here to the tab that says source control on the left. And we're going to say modified, okay, village, whoops, spell it right, modify village lights. And we're going to go to the changes and we're going to click the plus button. The plus button is what we're going to click to stage the changes. Now they are staged. So now we're going to click the green button that says commit and push. There we go. All right. Let's go to the next step. Once we have done that, our branch, mod13, is the actual specific branch that we're going to deploy to Netlify. And let's go ahead to Netlify now and start that process. So over in Netlify, log in your preferred login manner. Normally I log in with GitHub or with Google. Either is fine. And then we're going to, in Netlify, add a new project from GitHub. And then you may have to click through and authorize their GitHub connector. And then we're going to go and search for And you might already see yours. I'm going to say Babylon game, and then it will find the repository. You could probably see yours if you don't have that many repositories already. Then we're going to click on the name of the repository, and then we're going to give our project a name. I'm going to call this game mod 13. So you call yours a unique name. I got game mod 13 now, so you will have to change yours to something different. You decide on an appropriate name that will be unique for your deployment. Then we're going to go down to branch to deploy and change it to mod 13. And then we're going to go down and click deploy right down on the bottom. And then it will start building the project, as you can see here. And this will take a while. And while this actually continues to build, we'll go back to GitHub, go back to the github.dev editor, and we'll change it once again. We will change it back to github.com, changing the .dev to .com, and we'll go back into the regular user interface for GitHub. And you can see we are indeed at that regular user interface for GitHub. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a few moments to look at the Netlify static site deployment information, which is in this file here. And we're going to call out the fact that if you do not want multiplayer, you can go to this other file, which we didn't, but you could go to this other file here in the source client config, game config, and you can actually take the multiplayer and set enabled to false if you would like to. So that's something I would like to point out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and then I'll jump right back in once the build has completed. Back at Netlify, the production build has completed and we have published. Let's go now take a look by clicking on the link to your live production build. And I will do the same. And we will see what we have going on. All right, so we have ourselves a deployment. We're going to go ahead and verify a couple things here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this and open it up in a new tab. And then I will face the other character. As you can see, we have multiplayer on, and I will just illustrate that our changes for the Mushroom Village are in place. So it will be brighter than it normally is. So if we go to Mushroom Village, there we go. The Mushroom Village music going on there. So peaceful and calm in Mushroom Village. And there you can see, yes, we have ourselves Mushroom Village with a nice lighting. And yes, we are set. And of course, we could go off to another environment as well. We could go to monochrome, let's say. Here we are in monochrome. Maybe I just go right here. Or better yet, I'll go down to the end over here. And let's join that character in monochrome. And let's turn ourselves around. And let's maybe change our character so that we can see that in action. Let's change to Lafufu. And there we go. Let's light it up, a little boost. A little jump. Nice. Well, that's really it for today. Is our deployment to Netlify is live. Hopefully you found some avenues here for new creativity and new means by which to get out there and make your ideas come to life. Take good care.